Hello, everybody, again, and thank you for attending tonight. And so I actually have a plan for tonight, and I have a learning outcome. Thank you, Mike. But I'm not going to share the learning outcome until later on in the evening. And the idea is that we're going to be looking at some skiers, and we're going to make this really, really objective. Is kind of the goal tonight, is to be very objective. Instead of saying, well, this one's smoother or this one's better or this one's blah, blah, blah. We need to be more specific about how we're going to be describing it. And I'm going to kind of narrow the lanes a little bit down to, and we're going to use dirt a lot. And our dirt is going to allow us to kind of be more descriptive about how we're going to be describing it. And we're going to have dirt on one side, and we're going to have a fundamental on the other, and somewhere in there, in those phases of the turn, we're going to be able to describe with pretty good accuracy about what is actually happening. Does that make sense? Then we're going to take those skiers and we're going to compare and contrast. But the comparing and contrasting is not going to be around one skier sucks and the other one's better. We're going to again use these lanes of fundamentals. Pick a fundamental, pick a specific phase of the turn, and using our dirt to describe the differences and the similarities between those two skiers. Yes? And then we're going to drive right out in the group, and I have two more videos, and we're going to share those other two videos, and do again that same compare and contrast. Sound like a plan? So the idea is, when you're done, that you're going to start understanding and describing individual fundamentals using dirt through all three phases of the turn by using comparing and contrasting between two skiers. There's your LO.
Would you be able to put them side by side?
Yes, I will be able to put them side by side. Unfortunately, when we do it in breakout rooms, I won't be able to do that for you, but I can do that. I'll be able to do that for you for these two first skiers. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're looking at a skier. This is probably an L2 candidate. I don't know how they would have passed their L2 skiing like they are now. But what are some things that you're noticing? Give me something give me an overall picture. Something other than he's skiing on a probably blue line on a nice sunny day, doing short radius turns or medium radius turns.
He's banking, kind of a park and ride. The upper body is more upright than the lower leg. Those are some big things that I saw.
Yeah, so you're mentioning banking.
Yes.
So banking is, you're automatically starting to pick out a fundamental, right?
Pressure.
All inclination, no angulation.
Yeah, so we're picking out an inclination. Well, banking is not inclination and angulation. It's very related, but it's for a different fundamental. Does anybody remember what that fundamental is?
Pressure on outside ski.
Outside ski to ski pressure, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so let's look at the description of how we can identify this as banking.
Chuck, I always identified banking with edging.
Banking is not edging, because inclination is edging.
But what's really
but it's the edging fundamental. He's not doing it right because he's not angulating. That's why
well, that's not being objective, that's being subjective. And no, banking is actually looking at the lens through ski to ski.
Can you just differentiate banking from inclining? Because to me, they're pretty much the same.
So banking, and they're both very, very related. Okay. So it is an inclination movement. I'm not going to lie to you. They're both an inclination movement. The difference is that how the pressure is between the two skis. Okay. We can incline into the turn and still be able to pressure the outside ski.
So, Chuck,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna agree with Scott here. And
Sure.
I let me try to articulate, and Scott, please jump in if I'm not articulating this correctly.
Sure.
I too associate his movement of inclination with edging. The reason why is to get to an edge, he inclines. The result
Yes.
of which is an inside ski to inside ski skiing. That is, he's not skiing outside ski to outside ski, but that's
Yes.
the result of poor edging. The edging occurs via banking rather than setting up angles in the joints.
Cool.
I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead.
Is it possible to ski fast enough that total inclination would still pressure the outside ski? Hypothetical.
How would you get there? If you're
You'd have to be going like 100 miles an hour, 80 miles. What do the downhill skiers do? They're getting up to 80 miles an hour, and they're almost at the truest form of banking when they're going 80.
You're still going to have to relieve pressure off that inside ski enough
Yes.
to
Yeah.
shorten that inside leg, or
Yeah.
you're not going to get that pressure
Well-
to the outside leg.
Okay,
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
still not understanding what the difference between banking and inclining is because they look the same to me.
Well, they do look the same in a lot of ways, right? But it's the difference between banking and I think actually AJ did a really nice job of describing it, right? Because this is why we like to tie these two together is when we're doing descriptions, because they're so closely related in a lot of ways, right? If you bank, you're really giving up a lot of pressure to the inside ski. If you don't shorten the inside leg, but as soon as you shorten the inside leg, now you're starting to create some angulation, aren't you?
Yeah, then
Is
you
this
know
guy
that
creating any angulation, or is it all inclination?
And edging is achieved. I think that's edging could be achieved in this case via excessive inclination.
Well, I don't know if you got to incline.
So, Chuck, can
Yeah.
you explain when you say banking? It
Yes.
sounds like to you, banking is where there's no both legs are equal length, and so with that result, the pressure's on the inside ski. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes. I
Me,
mean,
banking
relatively.
was more just kind of
Relatively.
description, but
It
an
is a
inclination.
description. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think of banking as inclination with no angulation.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, so then
Right.
why not just call it inclination?
You
'Cause
can
that's
call
what
it
it is.
inclination, but unfortunately, ski to ski pressure does not have inclination in the name anywhere or in the description.
Is skidding a result of banking?
The skidding. Ooh.
Skidding.
Oh, the skiing that he's doing? The
Skidding.
skiing?
Skidding. Skidding.
The skidding?
Is it a
You
result of
guys tell
banking?
me.
No.
Mike, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear some things up. In the Alpine Technical Manual, under edging, this is where inclination and angulation is identified. Okay. And inclination is just basically a skier deviating from a vertical position. Banking starts at that realm, but banking means that according to our manual, you're inclining, but your body is inclining the same amount your legs are inclining. And usually the outside ski has very little pressure on it. It's all inside ski dominant. So you could actually, so instead of using inclining, let's just say for banking, the whole body is leaning toward the inside of the turn.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're identifying a
And
bank
within the
like
definition of edge control, this is where inclination comes in.
Yeah.
We
Because
avoid,
it's in the definition, right?
so
It's a
they're
combination of
identifying
inclination and angulation.
they're identifying a bank as though you were a 2x4
yep,
and you're
Yep.
tilted. Okay.
Yep.
and you lean inside. And I chose to use the word lean inside to make Donnie happy, and I'm not using a jargon word, inclination.
Yay, Mike.
Tipping. Yeah, you could say tipping, except that's more of a ski outcome, right? Yeah, I mean,
Just,
so let's
just to
so we
clarify
have
some things.
yeah, we have a couple of fundamentals there. And I heard banking first, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick with banking. And let's just pick the big D, duration.
The entire term.
Remember that banking is a ski to ski pressure aspect. And we're going to narrow it. Well, let's just do the whole thing, right? Let's look at the whole picture there. So from one turn to the next.
Well, to correct that again, Chuck,
How is
banking,
pressure being
inclination
directed?
is an edging thing. It's not ski to
Inclination.
ski. Ski to
And this
ski
we're
and
sticking.
edging are very tightly related,
Yeah,
but it's not a ski to ski thing.
it is not. No, it is. We're sticking with banking, and the banking is a ski to ski description. So, and we're picking duration. How long and what? How long is he putting pressure to which ski when?
How long to the point of no return?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm joking, but I'm also not joking.
No, it's the whole time.
Yeah, it's the whole time. And
okay.
to get an edge, to get to the new set of edges, what's he doing? He's
Leaning
popping,
on the other side.
yeah, he's popping up and moving to the other side and shifting.
Oh, you guys are just dying to go right to edging, aren't you?
Oh, he's up on waiting to release that.
He's up on waiting to release. Yep.
Yeah,
I
and
believe that.
his center of mass is basically aft. I don't see any real tip engagement on these skis at all. All of it is on the tails of the skis.
All right, that's throwing the old turn signal on. Right. So tip engagement means, what does that mean? Are we going to another fundamental for that one?
That's
Well, it's fore aft and edging if you're talking about tip engagement.
well, then we're
Yeah, well, we gotta have
talking mass over the base of support.
Not directing the skis into the turn.
yeah, so let's just stick with the ski to ski pressure. How much pressure has he got on the outside ski versus how much pressure has he got on the inside ski? And for how long does he have it?
So I would say at initiation, he briefly gets pressure to the outside ski because you can see a little bit rotary push off at initiation. Then he immediately gets most of his pressure on his outside ski through the remainder of initiation shaping and the start to finish.
So he's on his outside ski the whole time?
Except when he starts briefly. No, that's when he's on his outside. What did I say? Outside? He
You
goes,
did say outside, yes.
so he goes to the inside ski quickly after initiation through shaping and through finish.
Cool.
Can you slow it down just a hair? I want to see the rotary push off. I think I saw
It's more of a step than a rotary push off, but Scott is essentially correct. There is a little bit of a 1-2 happening at the initiation.
And it's
You
quick.
can really see it here. There's that
There.
yeah, there it is.
separation
Okay.
between the
Yep.
feet.
Yep.
Well,
That's a
Not
good
really
cue is
between
when
the
you see
feet,
that
but
two
between
legs
the
move away
knees.
from each other. Yeah, when you see the two legs move away from each other, it's usually a pretty good indication that there's a sequential movement happening.
Yeah, when Chuck, when you said ski to ski, I don't see him have like independent ski movements. I feel like
No,
it's
no.
it's coming all
Yeah,
together.
we're not really going to get into the ideal today. That's fine. I'm trying to keep this as objective as I can, right? Yeah, ideally, from the picture in my mind, I'd like to see a little bit more long leg, short leg situation that would allow him to direct more pressure to the outside ski. That would be the ideal, but that's not what he's doing here.
Right.
So Chuck, just to sorry to ask a really basic question, but
Sure.
so when I'm looking at his skis, what's the evidence that he's on his inside ski versus his outside ski? They
Cool.
look like they're the same.
So here is I'm gonna give you a quick visual of what banking looks like.
Yeah.
Oops. I don't want to do that. I want the line. Give me the line. All right, here is his shoulders. I think we all can agree. Here is his pelvis. Yes. Here is a line through hopefully a center of mass. And his center of mass is somewhere around right here, right? Is there a definitive difference between the outside ski and the inside ski in terms of length?
Ski or leg?
your leg.
The
Leg.
skis,
His
you
skis are
think, are
pretty
the
much
same
the same
size.
length.
Yeah, they're the same.
They're about the same, aren't they?
Very
So
similar.
if we know that Lego man, this is Lego man, right? And we start to tip in like this, which ski is he likely to have more weight on?
Inside.
Inside.
The inside, right? Now he
Huh?
he has a little bit of difference there. So we can't
There
say that he has no pressure on the outside ski at all, right? He has a little bit of pressure on the outside ski. What he does have is an appropriate amount of pressure on the inside ski.
One thing that's typical when there's too much weight on the inside ski is that ski has a higher edge angle than the outside ski does.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
I
I
can
can
see it. I can see it on this.
yeah.
And the results
Yeah.
in diversion.
He's got like a little bow leg thing going on, doesn't he?
Yep.
If his
Kind of
skis were a little farther apart, it'd be all on the inside.
It would be all on the inside.
would
He
be.
would be definitely Lego man, right? He would be just like that, right? Yeah, so that he is the classic definition of banking. And it's not entirely bad at the initiation, but as soon as we start to get into the shaping and the finish, ideally we would like to see more angles built that will allow him to pressure directly to the outside ski, creating a little bit of lateral separation. Instead, what he is lacking here is any vertical separation of one leg being longer than the other. I only picked this portion in time. I know this is the initiation part, but I picked this portion in time because it's very easy to see, but it doesn't really change right here, does it? That's a yes or no question.
No,
No.
it doesn't
No.
change.
No. And then when he gets to here, it's kind of still the same, except he's kind of using something to get him from one side to the other.
I'm seeing that outside ski is kind of leading as opposed to the inside ski too.
Yeah, it's just maybe a little bit. He's very practiced at this, right? What
Yeah.
are some other indications that we see when we see banking and we see an inappropriate amount of pressure on the inside ski?
The tails will push out, especially that outside.
The tails will push out. What else?
There's
Terms of
unequal flexing of the joints.
sure. What else?
Divergence
What's the
of the
one
skis.
visual thing that we can look at our skis and we can say, duh, there it is.
Divergence.
Divergence. He's very practiced. So he's able to control the direction of his skis in a way that allows him to do, to execute these turns. But he still has that kind of 1-2 motion at the end of the turn where he's got to kind of spread them out a little bit and move from one ski to the other as little as he does. Does this make sense? I've spent way too much time on this skier because I got another skier. We've got the other skier. So, and we're going to take that's those same ideas that we just had, and we're going to apply them to the other skier. Okay? No. Nope, not that one. All right, here we go. So, same thing again. We're looking at ski to ski pressure. What are the similarities and the differences between what this skier is doing versus what the first skier was doing? Or actually, let's roll that back. What is this skier doing now in terms of ski to ski pressure? Are
Transferring.
we seeing the same things?
Upper
Yes.
lower body separation.
More angulation.
In what
Yeah.
way? You got to be more specific.
More angles as opposed to banking.
Okay, cool. So we're seeing some angles, but is angles ski to ski pressure? Is that edging? You got to add a qualification in there.
It's more edging.
That would be more of well, I don't know. I mean, what I'm asking Jerry is that if you want to make it ski to ski pressure, how do I know that it's what angles are helping him do whatever they're trying to do? You got to add a qualifier.
I think he's controlling his rotation and his steering in all the phases of his turn, as opposed to the other skier who
Sure.
was banking and riding along the inside edge.
Let's keep it narrow though, without throwing on the lane change. Can we stay with ski to ski pressure?
Okay, so this skier has ski to ski pressure, and because of that, he is able to steer and guide the skis through all phases of the turn.
So steering is edging and rotation. And there's more of a rotational outcome.
So
Able to see
I-
a little bit of short leg, long leg too.
There's a little bit of short leg, long leg, right? How do we know that there's short leg, long leg?
It's that
Because we see
So
the
you
skis
started
turning,
describing.
Bentley.
the skis turning simultaneously.
Inclination.
You just look at the legs.
The inside knee appears higher than the outside knee at the
Okay.
full extension at the apex of the turn.
Let's see if we can
These
catch
are
it when it
parallel.
gets up
But
closer.
Chuck, what I'm seeing here is not really a whole lot of outside ski to outside ski. The guy, this candidate, I'm presuming this is a level 3 candidate. This candidate is steering to an edge.
Yeah, a little bit more spinny, right?
Yeah,
Okay, but
there's still more. I would like to see a lot more outside ski to outside ski.
Cool. When? When would you like to see? So give me
I
a
would like to
descriptor.
see it happening well early in the turn. I'd like to see the movement across the skis to the new outside ski early initiation or earlier
So
initiation.
yeah, so that's the picture that you have in your mind of what the ideal is, right? You want to see this, right? So what is this skier doing now? Objectively, what is this skier doing now other than that's not what I want to see, right?
Objectively, this person is getting to an edge by steering their skis to an edge.
Okay.
And
Right,
sitting
so
back.
ideally, you'd like to see edging kind of at the beginning of the turn and more steering towards the end of the turn, and I think he's doing just the opposite.
So there is, when we get to this spot right here, right? So we're going from one turn to the next, right? Is this person definitively different than the person we just watched
Yeah.
at the initiation?
The
There's
center mass is off.
No.
there is a
There's
little bit
counter.
more leg difference there than the other one, but this person is also inclining.
Yeah, let's take counter and put it over here for now. Okay. Counter is the way you're describing it as more of a rotational base, and I'm not interested in rotation. I'm looking at the ski to ski pressure only.
Okay.
We're just staying in
Okay.
the ski to ski pressure.
Like the previous skier,
Uh-huh.
this one keeps his feet very close together. There's no separation between his feet and his skis, so
Yes.
he's got to have more
There
pressure
we
on
go.
the inside ski than he does on his outside ski. This is hero snow, and he can get away with that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So this
Good
so,
Lord.
so
He's
there's not
for a lesson.
really, I mean, we'll go ahead and just throw them up together, right? So actually I want this one over here. I
So
want
Chuck, I want to say they're
Yeah.
both starting by tipping their upper body to the inside of the turn instead of starting by tipping their lower legs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of difference between one and the other, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's not at the initiation. At the initiation, let's get to the. Wait a minute, this is wrong skier. Wrong skier. Oh, here we go. All right. So there's a little bit of difference. There's only a slight about a difference, right? Because when we get to this portion right here and we get this one, we're going to go ahead and get to there. Well, let's back it up just a little. Right. Right there and here, there's not a ton of difference, right?
Right.
Both of them have legs that are about the same length. Are the shoulders level or pointed to the inside or pointed up, the outside shoulders up higher than the inside shoulder?
Second skier shoulders more level than the first one.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, because what I'm seeing is there's still a little bit of tilt. There's still that outside shoulder still appears to be a little bit higher than the inside shoulder. Starting to turn, right? The difference is when we get to the shaping phase, how they accomplish differences in, this one's getting ready to be right in the fall line. So there's a fall line. Here's the other guy in the fall line. What is the difference? Is there a similarity and a difference?
Well, the skier to the left has created more angles.
Yeah, created an angle. So what is that angle allowing them to do? Ski to ski pressure only.
To better manage pressure on outside ski and complete and steer his turn more efficiently.
Cool. How?
By guiding the skis, by keeping pressure on outside ski, he's able to guide his skis across the fall line into the turn to complete the
Right.
turn.
So let's try to get a little bit closer here.
He better aligns his center of mass over his outside ski by creating
There we
lateral
go.
angles at his hips.
Yeah. So the
Was
distance
that
between,
did Scott just say that?
yeah,
That was
can you, so
really
the center of
really good,
mass
Scott.
is kind of like where this zipper meets the blue there.
Yeah.
Is that more aligned over the outside ski or the inside ski?
Inside ski.
Is it? I'm looking at the pelvis because the pelvis is like right in there, and that blue line kind of shows me which way the pelvis is. Because she's hiked up the inside leg a little bit. That's tilted the center of mass more over to the outside ski. Or this skier that we've been looking at, when he gets to, well, where's a good spot for him? When he gets to right there, right? Because he hasn't created any angles. The center of mass stays more over the inside ski. Right? So that's the subtle differences that we're seeing in the skier.
And yet the skier on the left, you can still see a higher edge angle on the inside ski than on the outside ski.
Yeah, that's becoming a little bit more subjective than objective. That's
Okay.
getting into that, like, I'm more ideal. I would still like to see more long leg, short leg.
Right.
Because I still think, in spite of the fact they've created an angle, there's still an appropriate amount of pressure on the inside ski, which causes a cascade of other issues through the other fundamentals.
I'd like to see more angles other than just in the pelvis and the hip.
And just in the pelvis. Yeah. I mean, we're literally, the only thing we're seeing is the hip
Those
area.
those skis are so close together, it's really hard to see short leg, long leg too.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit when I see the
Right.
inside leg coming up
There.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, she has to,
Right. Yeah, you can do that, but
still, I mean, when we
it'd be
get,
more obvious if we had some separation.
yeah. And again, careful how you use separation, right? You're going to have to be, what do you mean by separation? Got to give a qualifier. Rotational
skis are farther
separation, lateral separation, vertical separation.
lateral.
Lateral separation. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we get stuck in these trains of not knowing what we're talking about.
Got it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because right here, that's the same banking move that he has.
Yep.
We're here on this side, right? At the initiation. And then AJ, was it you were talking about how they're spinning at the top? Right? And we're seeing a little bit of that spinny part
Yeah.
because I really don't have edge engagement. And I don't really have edge engagement because there's no pressure. So they get real quick up here.
Quick rotation into the fall line.
Quick rotation. I mean, this guy's doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's really not. I mean, it's still, when you get to here, look at those skis spin. I mean, he hasn't hardly gone more than a couple of ski lengths and he's already spun quite a bit. So it's more of a comma shape, it's real quick at the top and then slows down at the bottom. Both of them are doing the same thing. Skier on the right, on the left is a little bit more refined. Skier on the right is not quite so refined.
What's going to happen to that first skier if we told him to create a little bit of lateral separation without giving any other?
Ooh, now you're asking for a constraint, right? I mean, Are we gonna tell him, hey, we need to build more lateral separation without telling him what that means?
Yeah, if you did, my guess is you're going to wind up with him on the inside ski and nothing on the outside ski, and
Yeah,
it's not
you
going
got
to
to
be
tell
good.
him why that's important, right? Why do we need to pressure the outside ski?
Right.
Right? I mean, why do we got to do that? Because that gives us more balance. It gives us more ability to be, to give us more of lots of things, actually.
Or balance against gravity.
More balance against gravity, more balance for
Mm.
aft, more balance. I mean, the importance of having pressure on the outside ski cannot be understated, right?
It also, think about the biomechanics of how we work. He's on the big toe side of his foot, which is the stronger side of his foot, and the stronger side of his leg to better manage the forces.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and start thinking about some breakout rooms. Any questions on this, or does somebody want to go ahead and describe the edging similarities and differences? And let's say, let me give you, I'm going to ask you for timing through all three phases. When do they create their angles? Or where are they creating their edging? And how, when and where is the highest edge angle?
Well, the first skier skids the top of his turn. His skis are fairly flat and not tipped, and they don't really engage till maybe at the fall. They start to engage, but they're still skidding at the fall line, and they don't really engage till after the fall line. And he achieves highest edge angle late in the shaping into the finish.
What about the second skier?
Second skier does better. Is that good, Chuck?
Yeah, but that's a value judgment.
Yeah, the second skier also starts with a pivot, but he does create edges earlier, I would say early in the shaping phase, and he's able to do a better job of steering through the finish.
Steering is a
and he-
rotational outcome. It's not you steering.
so so I went into rotation and you just wanted edging.
I
Got it.
want edging, yes.
Okay. So the second skier starts to tip his skis at the top of the turn. However, they don't really engage until about at the apex, which is earlier than when the first skier engages. The first skier doesn't engage till after the apex. And the second skier has their highest edge angle late in shaping.
Okay. So engagement is that an edging outcome?
Engagement, yes.
Oh, it is. I did not know that.
You knew that.
I think we could argue that it's probably not an edging outcome.
So the outcome you're looking for is the skis turning because of the edging? Is that what?
No, no,
Nope.
that's not what he's asking. He's asking
Okay.
when are the skis flatter in the turn, and when are they higher in the turn? When are they highest in the turn? That's it.
Yeah. Let's get rid of all these other jargon pieces, right?
Okay,
Let's
so
Don't talk
really
about
stick to the
engagement. Don't
point.
talk about how they turn. Don't even
Yeah.
talk about pressure. Just
the
what is the
skis are
angle
flattest
where?
at initiation. They start to tip late in initiation. I'm talking about the second skier. They continue to tip. Actually, they tip fairly quickly, and they achieve their highest edge angle 3/4 of the way through the turn.
Is
Hey
this the first
Scott,
skier or the second skier? Yeah.
Second
hey Scott,
skier.
we can see you when you're talking. Could you, instead of just saying initiation, whatever, those are kind of vague. If you're talking to a guest, do they really understand if you were to cut an arc into three sections? Do they know where you're talking about in those sections?
I thought I was talking to ski instructors, not the student.
It
They're
still
all
can.
guests, man.
It still confuses me though to what Mike was saying about trying not to use jargon so much. So I'll turn my
At the
camera on
top of the
here.
turn, the skis are flat. They start to tip about a third of the way through the turn. They tip most 3/4 of the way through the turn, and then they start to reduce and get flat, getting ready for the next turn.
Cool. How about this? Skis are flat at the top of the turn, and then they quickly get a higher edge angle, tip more in the first third, and then they don't really tip a whole lot more after that until he starts to move into the next turn.
Yeah, I
Though
like
you,
yours better.
though we could also talk about how as they start to, I'm thinking more of like as they are going pointing across the fall line where they're at, when they're pointed down the fall line where they're at, and when they come back across the fall line, and then as they're coming back across, because the hill is pitched, the edge angle is going to increase a little bit more there. I think that, to me, those kind of things could create more clarity.
Yes,
You
no, maybe.
I agree with what Donnie's saying. I think with our words, we get lazy. We see the skis skidding or slipping sideways on the heel, and we tend to infer that means they're a fairly flat ski. But the reality of it is, as soon as either of these skiers start the new ski, they are on edge immediately.
Both
They
of them
do
do.
not have enough edge angle to create pressure for their skis basically to talk to the snow, but they are on edge.
Mm.
And the skis continue to slide and are guided into the fall line. And at the fall line is where the two skiers start to vary. The one on the left, as we're looking at the screen, is starting to get a high enough edge angle that the skis are talking to the snow and starting to take the skier across the hill. The skier on the right is well after the fall line. They're actually starting to go the other direction, at which point there is enough slope angle with the edge angle they've created for the skis to talk to the snow. So there's an artificial increase in edge angle created by the slope angle, not by the skier doing anything more. They're on a constant edge angle shortly after they start, and it really doesn't change what they've created. What changes the edge angle for them is the pitch of the slope as they go across the hill.
Yes, no, maybe. And trust me, Scott, we're just beating you up because we can, because we're going to be yelling at each other tomorrow when we're doing this amongst ourselves.
No, I know. I actually like what Mike, I like what you said. I don't like the word talk. The
Yeah.
skis
Well,
talk to the snow. What are they saying? Hey, you're really
it,
cold.
if we were, I like where you're going with that, Mike. But if we were to like keep it to just edge angle, you wouldn't be talking
Yeah.
about the skis talking to the
Yeah.
snow. You're like,
Yeah,
and this
I
when the
think
skis are
Agreed.
I think it's simpler. I think the skis get high edge angles early, and then they stay on pretty much high edge angles throughout the turn, and then they quickly move to the other side. That's
and
the
the
Agreed. I
edge,
brought, when they're talking to the snow, that starts to bring in the interaction, the
right.
magnitude of pressure there, which
But
moves us beyond where you wanted to go. I
Yeah.
apologize.
I did like though how you said that through the uh, later phase of the turn, as the slope angle increases, so does the edge angle, not because of input from the skier. I thought that was relevant.
All right. Hey, let's go ahead and go to our room. Alex, how you doing, buddy? How's Australia right now? He's having trouble unmuting himself. Yeah, you're speaking, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear
There we
me?
go. Yeah,
It's
now you
good.
can hear you.
Tough season
All right.
so far, but hanging in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
not too much snow.
Not too much snow. That's too bad. All right. Hey, let's go to our rooms. I'm going to visit you real quick. I'm going to drop a couple of videos in each. One of them is going to be the videos that we just watched, and the other one is going to be a new person. And we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing, comparing the two, except we're going to switch it to somebody give me a different fundamental other than edging and ski to ski pressure. Okay, a rotation it is. So we're going to look at it from just purely the rotational aspect. I know you guys want to change lanes. It's very, very easy to do to throw that blinker on and go blink and blink. No, we want to stay in the rotational realm. All right. Go to your rooms.
One eternity later.
Always mutes me. Here's the part that always seems to run people off. The scary part where we actually have to speak. Trust me, I got two of these tomorrow in front of the RMT group. I already voluntold myself that I was going to do two of these, so they get to beat me up for a while, and I get it. But we have to learn to do this. So, all right. So let's start out with the. We're going to start out with the L3 group. And we're going to watch those videos. And who wants to speak about the skier on the left? The one we've already talked about in terms of rotation. Don't everybody volunteer at the same time.
Hey, Chuck, I may
Yeah.
disappear because Zoom is acting up.
What's
I,
happening?
I've had two messages now from Zoom saying we have a problem. We're sending error reports. It's
Oh,
disconnected me and reconnected me multiple times.
huh. Okay. I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
I thought it was a network, but it's a Zoom issue.
It is? Okay. Well, let's try to get these things lined up. Whoops. All right. Who wants to speak about the person on the left? Somebody, please. All
All
right,
right, you want
Scott,
me to
talk
do
about the
that
person
one?
on the left. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So we're talking about
volunteer somebody
rotary,
to be
correct?
Huh?
We're talking about rotary.
Rotary, only rotary.
Okay.
Tell us about the skis. Tell us about the body.
Don't talk about the skis, talk about the body. Okay.
Talk about the skis first and then talk about the body.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So the skier on the left, the ski performance that I see is at the top of the turn. The skis both rotate quickly through the start of the turn and then rotate much slower through the shaping and the finish. That's what's generating the comma-shaped turn. The body performance that I see that causes this is at initiation, the skier uses a hip rotation to start the turn, which the hips turn first, then the skis follow. And because of the hip motion at the start of the turn, that's why things are going quickly. And then the legs catch up and they kind of finish the turn in unison with the upper body and lower body squaring up at the end of the turn.
Anybody want to question what he had to say? It seemed pretty simple.
Yeah,
All right, Scott. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
I don't see the body squaring up until basically into the turn. I always equate squaring up with the outside shoulder rotating to match the direction of the skis across the hill. And I don't see that in this skier.
That happens at the end of the turn. There.
Oh, just briefly, yeah. But that doesn't happen at every turn.
No.
No, the squaring up is what's causing the rotation, but it's not what I would normally call squaring up. It's because he's working so hard to keep the shoulders and the hips directed down the hill that the skis have got no choice but to go with. And that's the reason he needs to rotate to get them back on edge.
Yeah. So we were talking a lot about the similarities and differences between these two. So we really kind of focused on the hip rotation here that's happening with this skier on the left. But is there another mechanic that might be involved there too, Scott? The upper body points one direction, the skis point the other at the same time.
The false counter.
It's false counter, but it's very quick, so it would be called
counter rotation.
Counter rotation.
Okay.
We didn't really get to discuss that too much because I was really
Right.
looking for like really diving down into mechanics. That's classic counter rotation. We watch the upper body move to the outside and the skis move to the inside.
How do you know it's the hip rotation? What's
Because the hips actually rotate before the upper body does.
Can I say
Watch the
pelvis,
hip
you
kind of
guys?
bump out.
Pelvis.
Can we say pelvis? Because
Pelvis, I'm sorry, pelvis, you're right.
when
Yes.
I'm doing leg turning, there's hip rotation.
Yeah.
Right? It's where's the pelvis pointing? And how does it working with the shoulders?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I see that, so I'm wondering what to look for.
Well, we were really diving, like I said, Kimberly, we were really
Okay.
diving down into like the mechanics of the hips and as a contrast and similarities between the two skier,
Okay.
because they both kind of start the turn the same way in the pelvic region, right?
Yes.
But there's actually the one on the left is a classic case of counter rotation. And the one on the right is not counter rotation.
Yeah, there isn't with the person on the left, there isn't say as much opposition to where the shoulders and pelvis point as drastically as the person on the right.
So with that said, Scott, I'm going to throw you one more curveball.
Okay.
Is there another fundamental we might look at as a way to make a change? This is that cause and effect relationship.
No, I know. I'm thinking, ski to ski pressure.
Ski to ski. You think it's ski to ski? Okay, that's fine.
Why?
Well, I'm just thinking
they're all
because the legs
connected.
are so close together, we're not getting, ski to ski pressure, what it should be. Or are you thinking edging?
I see a lot of fore aft.
But that's what
I think you
Especially
go
when they get-
anywhere with this.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
go a lot of different places. I mean, there's nothing there, but I see a lot of kind of pushy.
Well,
Remember the singleton chart.
Yeah, right there. You could see
Yeah.
skier's back.
Yep. But like, I mean, you could go to edging on this too.
yeah, but his
Right.
You're trying to break a pattern. so-
open for the majority of the turn.
All right. Hey, Alona. You want to talk about the skier on the right? Take a
Okay.
stab at it.
What?
Take a stab at it.
Okay. So at initiation, the skier on the right has a greater flexion of the inside leg, directing pressure to the outside ski.
Yeah, but we're talking about rotation, so let's stick with rotation.
Okay, so it allows that skier to rotate and steer the ski effectively underneath the stable upper body.
When and where?
At initiation of the turn, through the shaping and finish. It looks to me as if that occurs in all three phases of the turn. Where the skis appear to be on the skis appear to be rotating under the stable upper body by changing the magnitude of pressure by steering. That's what it looks like to
So
me.
yeah, there's some steering that's happening.
Right. So the skier is able to control both the edge angle and the flattening of the ski.
Yeah, let's stay to rotation. Let's stick with rotation. And there's a, yeah, I think somebody in that group want to kind of add on to this?
So we said earlier, the steering occurs mostly towards the second half of the turn where you can see the legs rotating. And there is some upper and lower body separation where the legs are rotating less.
What kind of separation are we talking about there?
Rotational separation where
There we go. Good.
the
Thank you.
turning less than the upper body.
Cool. So, but what's happening at the initiation now? Because we're not really seeing this happening at the initiation. And again, this is very, very subtle.
Well, we did say that he also is initiating with the pelvis, with rotating the pelvis.
Yep.
Which way they're
Yes.
rotating the pelvis, to the inside of the turn or the outside of the turn?
They're rotating the pelvis to the
To
outside.
the outside.
Because you can see it like right there. And how were they doing that, Scott? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I mean, it's an upper body rotation, but it's really subtle.
It's really subtle, and it comes
It's
from
coming
the
from the
hips.
hips.
I'm sorry, the pelvis. Sorry,
Yeah,
Donnie.
that pelvis. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the pelvis.
And what was the indicator? The thing that really kind of made that stand out?
We talked about the tip lead in the
Yeah,
skis.
there we go.
Yeah.
And so we know that when he gets to this position here and he's getting ready to initiate the turn, look how the tip moves forward on the inside
Yeah.
ski.
The
And
inside
that's
ski
what
moves.
rotates the pelvis out.
Okay.
Now it's
The
rotating
inside,
to the out.
the inside ski is moving forward not because the leg is getting shorter,
Yes.
right? The
Because
inside ski advances when we have leg length differences. This is not that. This is guys doing more like a reverse telly.
yeah,
And then from
he's
here,
moving
when he
that
sees
inside hip
engaged,
to point it the pelvis towards the outside of the turn, and that's moving his inside ski forward.
yeah.
I really like the way you said that, Scott. That was freaking clear.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's get to the other group before we all have to leave. We only got a few minutes left. Nope, don't want to save. Nope, don't want to save. All right. Gray is one of them. And then the other one, Janie, right? Was it Janie? No, it was not Janie. It was Olivia. All right, cool. Who wants to talk about Olivia? Rotation. Let's just talk about rotation. Don't everybody volunteer at once. I know you're all dying to speak. Don't be scared. This is more of the level 2 group, so
It's a lot easier now than in the exam, guys.
yeah. I mean, we really had to do the deep dive for the L3s. For the L2s, it should be a little bit less involved, a less scary.
Okay, let me try.
Except for when you're a candidate, L2 candidate. Exactly.
I feel like I fail every time I talk in these things, but that's how you get better.
Hey, I
It's
just
not
gave
an
you a
exam.
compliment, Scott.
It's not an exam, it's an assessment.
Okay, skier on the left.
Yes.
The
Skier
rotation
on the left.
on the left. The rotation happens with the whole body rotation.
Okay, cool. Where does it start from?
It starts from the initiation of the turn and continues through the shaping and through the finishing of the turn. Skiers this way, skiers skiing through the most part of the turns. When the skis continues to move across, the skis are moving. A skier is trying to turn, but the guy skis, but the skis are kind of skidding across the hill.
So skidding is more of an edging.
Well,
we turn, we pivot, we
steer.
Rotation happens to the whole body throughout all shapes of the turn.
Yeah. So what are the skis doing? Let's back up. What are the skis doing in initiation? Are they turning at the same time?
Skis are turning at the same time.
At initiation?
Yes. The initiation, but then we see some diversion because of, again, previous discussions. The skis are with the shape more like comma type.
Yep, I would agree with that. So do they continue to turn throughout the turn? Turn, steer, pivot.
The skis are turning. Skis are they're well. The skis are turning. The skier is guiding the ski to the shape of the turn, but the skis are spending more time going across the hill late in the initiation new turn because of body remains in the whole in the I should say again inclined position. So we don't see separation, upper lower body separation at all.
So let's back up a little bit. When we are using upper body rotation, what is the most common outcome for our skis?
Skis are skidding.
Skidding is an edging outcome. What is the most common outcome for? Do they turn the same amount, same time? Do they one ski turn before the other?
Well, they're not turning at the same time, but skis are. We see the diversion. The skis are inside ski turning faster than outside ski.
Okay. Inside ski turning before the outside ski?
Before outside ski, yes.
The inside ski is turning before the outside ski.
Yes. Yes. Right.
No.
No.
Yeah.
The most common outcome that we have whenever we're talking about upper body rotation is that right there. Is that the outside ski starts turning before the inside ski.
See the separation in his legs? That's what you're focused on. The space between his legs that happens briefly. That's your cue.
And you see how the outside leg is starting to rotate before the inside.
Yeah, because inside leg is long. It's not shortening.
Yeah, so he's literally turning over the top of the outside and the inside new inside leg, right? So the outside leg is going to spin first.
But didn't we?
Now he's very practiced, so it only spins briefly and then he suddenly corrects it, right?
But didn't we see in some of his turns though that the inside ski was ahead of the outside ski? The tip was ahead of it.
It could be. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna really look at that tip lead too much because there's other issues in there.
Yeah,
It's
but
when you
that's
start
after
getting into
that.
these really subtle things that,
But
you
that
know, really
happens
just
after initiation. So initiation is when outside ski turns faster than inside ski.
yes.
Mhm.
And then the inside ski quickly turns to
Catches
catch
up
up, right?
and then
Almost in
it's
the initiation phase, right at the
then
end of the initiation. Most people don't do it until they're into the shaping phase. He's doing it very quickly. And you see that separation again, you can almost
Mhm.
see the convergence happening right
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
And the upper body is definitely turned over the inside hip or the inside pelvis. Yes.
Yep.
Classic of the pelvis rotating over the top of the leg and not the leg rotating over the under the pelvis.
Mhm.
Can I give one critique on that? There is no such thing as whole body rotation. It's upper body rotation coming from either the shoulders or the pelvis.
Yep. And
so
in
Other
this
than that, that was
case,
good description.
it's pretty obvious that it's coming from the
so
upper body because of the pole plant.
So there can be upper body rotation and the person remains square throughout the turn. Kind of makes it look like whole body rotation, but again, there's no whole body. And this guy uses upper body rotation, stays pretty square all the way throughout the turn until he initiates the new turn. Upper body gets ahead, then the lower
so
body
whole
catches
body
up.
rotation is not correct description. It's upper body rotation.
It's
Yes,
upper body rotation. UBR. UBR. Upper
upper
body
body
rotation.
rotation.
I need to. Okay, it's because that's something that. Okay, yeah, I heard both. Basically, I heard
Yeah.
whole
Anybody
body
that's
and
yeah, in the industry, we don't use whole body rotation. It's not a thing.
All right. Who wants to talk about the skier on the right?
then Danny.
This is a little bit different, but not tremendously different. Nope. Keep going.
I'll try.
All right, go.
Okay, so she she has Z turns, quick Z turns,
Yeah.
and she has the weighting, unweighting. She kind of goes up to unweight her skis
So let's
to
stay in the
initiate her
rotational
turn.
realm. Let's stay in the rotational realm.
Okay, so she's using her upper body to start the rotation. Looks
Okay,
like
cool.
when she does the pull plant, she's bringing that shoulder forward or the outside shoulder. Yeah. Um, let's see, in terms of the different phases of the turn, I need to see her again.
Yeah, hold on. Got one over here that's slower than the other.
Okay. Um, well,
Yeah, so
she's
what are the skis doing at the initiation?
let's see, she unweights, they flat. No, I can't
That's a
use that.
rotation, yeah, and a pressure. So I'm sorry, that was an edging and a pressure. Let's stay in a rotation. Are they turning simultaneously? Are they
No.
one turning before the other? How quickly are they turning? Give me
Okay,
some
so
description.
the outside ski is turning faster than the inside ski
Cool.
because of the upper body rotation.
Mhm. And
It's
then what's
very
happening? What's happening through the shaping and the finish phases?
well, the most obvious parts of her turns are the initiation and the ending of the turn.
Yep.
The shaping is very quick. Let's see what's happening during that time.
Yeah. I mean, you described it with Z shape, right?
Yes.
So it's
So
like
she spends,
initiation, and suddenly it's the finish.
yes.
Right?
And she's spending more time in the finishing of the turn.
Yes. So the skis, are they continuing to turn through the finish phase? Or they kind of stop turning?
I think they've stopped turning. She's just kind of riding them out.
Okay. Might be turning a little bit, but for the most part, all the turning's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's get that guy off the screen so we can see it a little better. All right. So what's the body doing that's making all this happen? Oh, well, let's go back. So skis at initiation, how quickly are they turning? One,
Very
got one
quickly.
ski turning quickly to the other. When do they match again?
I think in the shaping phase they're matching.
Yeah, whatever brief blink of a moment there is a
Yeah.
shaping phase.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, now you want me to say what's happening in
Yeah,
the body?
let's talk about the body. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the end of the turn, she is popping up and using her upper body to initiate the turn.
Okay. Could we be more specific about the upper body?
Um,
Where is
her
it originating
her
from?
shoulders, she's moving from the shoulder, the arm.
Okay, which shoulder? Inside or
The
out?
out. Well, when she plants the pole, it's her outer shoulder,
It's
but
kind of
which
moving
becomes the
first.
inner.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the outer shoulder is coming around. She plants the pole.
Plants
In her
pulling and the
arm.
outer shoulder kind of comes this way, doesn't it? Pretty briefly.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I'm not going to say, Kimberly, that you're entirely wrong about the unweighting phase, because that unweighting phase is kind of dependent on what she's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
If she didn't have an unweighting phase, she wouldn't be successful.
Right.
But remember, we gotta stay in that little lane, that little area, and be very succinct.
Well, she has upper body rotation.
She has upper body rotation, but again, this is like separation when everybody's talking about separation. What kind of upper body rotation does she have? And I think you've already hit it. It's going to be shoulders.
It's good. It's shoulders. Yeah.
Mhm.
And as a result, she doesn't have the upper body, lower body separation that we like to see.
Yeah, that's putting it in more of a subjective realm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep to the description part today. Like I said, I haven't actually asked anybody about how you would make a change, right? I want to stay in that objective, descriptive part.
Okay. Because she has the
So,
upper body rotation, her trunk is squaring up with her skis.
okay. And so what's that causing the body? Well, let me reword that. What is the body doing in the last two phases of the turn? Is it continuing to turn? Is it camping out? Is it not doing anything? Is it doing something? What can we be descriptive?
Okay. Well, she quickly turns the skis and then rides them for until she gets to the next turn.
Okay. Yeah. So they're not really doing anything.
Right.
She gets a little bit of spin going, and then she kind of rides a spin out, but as there's not a whole lot that's happening other than that, right?
Right.
I mean, there's like maybe a little bit of leg rotation happening right at the end of the turn, but I think that's more of a consequence of the spin that's happening at the top than it is actual leg rotation.
Okay.
So,
And that separation of the legs that we were talking about with other skiers when they are using their upper body to turn, you could see
yep.
that in her at the top of the turn.
Yeah, so that's a good visual cue that tells me that it's probably upper body rotation, right? That sequential movement of one ski moving before the other. And that applies both to edging, ski to ski pressure and rotation, right? Whenever we see those legs move apart, it's like, bink. I can just switch right in and say, oh, well, something's happening at the initiation. That probably shouldn't be happening at the initiation,
Mm-hmm.
right? That tells me right off the bat it's sequential.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
Right there at the end, before she's getting ready to make that next pole plant, she dumping her speed down so she can slow up a little bit to make that plant and then make that rotational turn a little bit.
I'm noticing that too. I was just thinking that same thing in
I
my
think
mind.
she gets a little bit of counter until
She
she
gets
squares up. She gets a
She gets
little
a
bit of
little bit of
counter with her.
rotational. She gets a little bit of rotational separation.
Yeah.
I'm going to ban the word counter.
Sorry.
Right, that's all right. She
No,
gets
you're
a little
right.
bit of an
Rotational separate, a
anticipatory
little bit, but
release.
then she squares up before the next turn.
Right. So there might be a little bit of a rotational push off that's happening right at the initiation, right as she's moving from one side to the other. And that might be what uh, um, oh my God. Sorry, I've forgotten your name. That might be what he is actually seeing, is that just a little bit of a standing on the outside leg, just enough to start the rotation on the other side. Yeah.
I kind of,
Todd. Sorry, Todd.
yeah, I
That's
kind
okay.
of read it slightly different in the sense that, yeah, definitely the shoulders start the turn and she gets herself in, anticipating the new turn, but then she transfers that energy down to the hips and the hips crank it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
That's
we
right.
discussed. I think that we're talking about the hips helping in the turn initiation.
It is. It's kind of really, again, I was trying to be, I think
I
it
thought
starts in the shoulder first and then a hip spin,
Yep, agreed.
but
I
there's definitely a hip moving over that
I
kind of helps
disagree
with
just a little
movement.
bit.
Yeah, all
I
right.
thought you were putting these two videos up to kind of highlight upper body rotation coming from two different places.
Yeah,
To
well,
me,
that's what I
to
was
me,
doing.
to me, when you watch the guy, you can see a definite advance of the shoulders. That one time when you froze it, and the shoulders were well ahead of the pelvis in rotation. And then the upper body, the rest of the body caught up to the shoulders and stayed pretty square. The person on the right, I see more activity out of the pelvis moving back and forth. And yeah, there's some help from the shoulders, but I think I see the shoulders being more staying down the hill, whereas the pelvis rotates back and forth more. And I was kind of thinking that you were kind of showing not just a difference in upper body coming from shoulders and pelvis, but maybe being a little stereotypical that guys are going to be more from the shoulders and girls might come more from the hips, because we do, like, if you
That
think about
sounds,
muscle groups, gender wise, that's one of the things that um, can make a difference in what people choose to use.
I can see where you're coming from with that, Donnie. I think both of them still start with the shoulder. I think in her case, it's softer in the sense that it's a quicker movement, it's a smaller movement, but it's still a dropping of that inside shoulder to align the upper body to give the facsimile of a counter relationship with the upper body and lower body before it transfers down to the hip. I don't think it starts at the hip.
yeah.
I
I think
still think it's a shoulder with the pole plant and then the hip.
if you were an L2 examiner, though, you would probably take either or. Because
So the
we're not,
question I have from our earlier discussion, if we're talking about hip rotation, do we see that
Pelvis rotation.
the ski tip lead change quickly? Right? That was the indicator we were looking for the hips.
yep. Yep. But that's a little bit different than what the guy was doing in the other video, right? The guy, girl, he, she, they, the one in the blue and the
Right.
red.
It
It's
It. Oh my
that's a
God.
little different situation than what we're watching here. Because the rotation's happening in this one so quickly. I mean, as Kimberly indicated, it's a Z-shaped turn. I mean, there's just no shaping phase at all. It's over.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think we can stare at it and say, well, because there's a little bit of a lead change there, it happens too fast.
Well,
That's not
that's why I was asking the question. I'm like, it's happening so fast, I can't really see a lead change, which is an indicator of the hip or
yeah,
the pelvis rotation.
yeah,
Yeah.
Drastic lead change. Because
drastically.
lead change is a natural outcome of proper leg rotation and leg length differentials.
Caused by slope angle
What do
and
you
the
mean slope angle?
stiffness in the ankle of your boot.
I can stand up right here, pick one leg up, and my toes are going to be ahead of the other one with no slope angle. Leg length differences cause lead differences.
So,
Cool.
so
So,
does
hey,
basic rotation. If your feet are here, see how one ski leads?
We're
It's the
talking about a different
rotation
kind of.
that give you a lead change.
We're talking about a different kind of tip lead here, that more like a
yeah,
reverse
yeah.
telly.
I
Right.
mean, this is the ideal, right? This is what we want to see. But what we were seeing was this.
Yes.
All right. And that's where that pelvic issue. That's not what she's doing here. This is just a classic UBR.
Ooh, an Uber.
Quickly moving from one side to the other, and then basically there's not much happening after the shaping phase. It's just kind of blank. And then she sets up for the other side where she can do maybe a little bit of a stand on the new outside leg, or the old stand on the old outside leg. So she would start the rotation again on the other side.
You're going to have to add another letter there. UBRS or H or P. Shoulders or pelvis? Which one is it? Shoulders.
You said H, so that must mean hips.
I know. I said the wrong word. Leather. Damn it.
All right. Hey, anybody got any questions on this? It's time to wrap this up. Questions, comments. We're completely full of it. We don't know what we're talking about. Anybody get anything out of this tonight?
We're completely full of it.
You know what? That's not my first time I've heard that.
We're professional at it. We're professionals at it too.
Good night, y'all. It's like midnight in the East Coast.
It is.
Yeah,
Sorry, Alana, for putting you on the spot.
I got a lot out of it tonight. There's a couple of
I need
spots
to be
that
put on
I
the
picked
spot
up.
because I don't like to speak.
I know, but we got to learn.
I know I have to do it.
And then somebody wants your attention, so party's over.
Confidence is the receipt.
Yeah.
Practice, practice, practice.
Practice.
Especially letting your thoughts out of your mouth. When you do that, you can.
It's so clear in my head, though.
Yeah, but when you open your mouth, it's just all gibberish.
I think when I first talked to Scott this evening, it was like first thing I said was blah. It was like, what was that? It was just gibberish.
That made perfect sense.
It's really hard to make it simple and clear. That's my takeaway.
You're getting better at it, Scott.
Yeah. Hey, great job. I heard a lot of really good discussion tonight. I love the fact that folks put yourselves out there, and feel free to let's do this. I'm going to come up with a different way to do it next week. So don't worry about that. I'm going to surprise you guys for a while. But that's what I'm supposed to do. So thank you all for coming tonight, and we'll see you guys next week. All right.